Shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, let's play D&D.
There's Christmas music going in the background.
Oh, I think it's actually my parents.
Nice.
Nice. Love it. I could not hear it. All right. Let's start. The camera opens on a bleak and dreary morning. We can just make out the dull rays of sun attempting to pierce the overcast sky. But the haze is too thick. This morning, at least, would be gray. A low fog hangs over a lightly forested area. Morning dew glistening like a solid sheet of water draped over the hilly terrain. There's a calmness to the scene, a calmness that lasts for but a few moments. Suddenly, we hear screams in the distance, screams of fear accompanied by whimpers and crying, and then the sounds of clashing steel, and the sounds of death. We close in on a copse of trees where we watch a small band of goblinoids crash through the foliage, a savage-looking band made up of goblins, orcs, and bugbears. The screams and cries for help die down in the background as we watch the foremost of the group, a large motley bugbear holding up a clawed fist. He then begins inspecting the matted grass below his feet and finally starts sniffing at the air with his pronounced animalistic snout.
Aye, Dungnose. If you lost the scent again, we'll have to give you a new name. How's No Nose do you for? 'Cause I'll take it right off your ugly mug,
shouts an orc from the back. The bugbear snarls.
You're welcome to track them yourself. But we all know your head's so full of maggots you couldn't find a flesh bag if it stood right in front of you and poked you with its little sword.
The goblins nearby all snicker with laughter as the orc from the back begins to push through towards the bugbear, drawing a rusted blade from his ragged belt. The bugbear continues.
It's Magnock. Call me Dungnose again, and I'll remove those maggots from your head myself.
And draws a blade of his own as he begins to skulk forward to meet the approaching orc. Before the two come together, another voice from somewhere off screen calls out,
I'll see the flesh bags. Let's move.
The two about to clash stow their weapons with displeased grunts, and we watch as the small clan quickly moves out toward a group of humanoids we now see that are running off through a lightly wooded area to the south. We close in behind the bugbear known as Magnock as he runs with the rest of the clan towards the flesh bags. His quarrel with the maggot-headed orc on pause for now, but his time will come. It's been 6 months traveling with this lot. They'd all come out of the mountains together, back when the giants punched through. There were a lot more of them then. Many had met their end to the flesh bags, and many had met their end to Magnock's own blade and bow. Magnock chose his battles wisely. No need to fight what you can't defeat. Maggot Head and the flesh bags were no different. Easy targets. The clan were gaining much ground on the flesh bags. The screams had started up again, and those in the rear began to notice the chase.
Let the fools shout all they want,
growled Magnock, to no one in particular. Nobody would escape. These were no armored warriors. That part was over. No, these were the leftovers. Chasing down stragglers was such a chore. If they'd only stayed put when the first attack hit, this could have been easier for everyone. But at least he can make this part fun. And it'd been so long since he'd had a good meal to fill his empty belly. Megnock slowly draws his bow, picking out his first target. To his surprise, he spied a group of pointy ears running along with the remnants of this caravan. What luck. It'd been weeks since he'd tasted a pointy ear. He'd best lay claim to them before Maggothead. With a snap, his arrow is released and finds its mark right in the back of one of the straggling pointy ears. First blood of the bunch, like always. The man hit the dirt with a thud as the bugbear lined up his second target, a woman. Such a stupid thing, running back after her fallen mate. His arrow met her clean in the neck. Her body would nestle nicely next to the first. Easy pickings. A few arrows were being volleyed in return, but nothing of significant threat. These flesh bags were as good with their bows as Maggothead was at tracking. Megnock notched a third arrow, scanning for another target amongst the scrambling flesh bags. He eyed another woman, and this one was carrying a young toddler.
What a day.
We hear as a grin creeps across his slathering maw. Best to keep that one alive, for the meat would be so tender and fresh. He aims his shot carefully, to only take the mother, and with a sickening thwack, the arrow finds its mark, digging deep into the woman's side, sending her and the child toppling to the ground, roiling in pain. More arrows began to fall nearby, and Megnock quickly scans the horizon where we see a few riders approaching on horseback.
Well, shit. This was supposed to be easy. All right, then,
Megnock howls.
Take the spoils. Let's get the hell out of here, boys.
Before making his way towards his most recent prize. It's at that moment he feels something odd. For notched on his bowstring was an arrow. That's strange, he thinks, for he didn't remember drawing one.
Pay it no mind. Get the child and get out,
he breathes as he looks up from his bow. And to his surprise, sees the woman, standing upright, her side completely free of blood. No arrow wound to be seen, and grasped tightly in her arms was the child. The same one he just saw tumbling to the ground only a few moments before. How?
Who is this pointy-ear witch?
He growls as he pulls back on his arrow once again, aiming for her head this time, just before... Boom! We watch as the blade of a gleaming steel glaive cleaves the snout right off Megnock's face, and his lifeless body falls to the ground in a heap. Thick crimson blood weeps across the blades of grass from the now bisected skull. As the camera tracks backwards and the scene slowly starts to fade, we get a shot from above the killing field. Bodies of humans, elves, and goblinoids lay slain amongst the small contingent of survivors. Large war horses topped with knights in dark, nearly black armor weave through the carnage, chasing off and killing all remaining orcs, bugbears, and goblins. In the center of the shot, just before blinking out to black, we can see the elven woman standing amongst the fallen, grasping tightly to a small child. From the darkness of the previous scene, we fade in on a similar shot from above of a hilly field of grass dotted by large craggy rocks and an old worn trail, overcome by nature in its recent years of disuse. This one, much like the other, is also marked by fallen foes, as well as survivors. Your band of adventurers have just overcome an attack by a group of knights carrying the standard of Briarwood. The very city you set off from on your charter to find the city of the dwarves. The chaos of the moment subsides almost as rapidly as it began. pop you over.
Yeah.
These. The spooked horses seem to all kind of round up close to one another, about 100 feet or so to the south, seemingly no longer spurred on by the loud sounds of gunfire and thunderous smites. The horses seem to be generally content, standing amongst themselves and grazing on the tall grass of the plains as all the chaotic energy of the moment seems to die down away from their fallen riders. Clavius, currently kind of lying atop and holding down the knight wearing the Briarwood armor, and all other foes have been felled. My heroic adventurers, what would you like to do?
Look, Clavius, help me bring him over here to this area. She's gesturing to the area that she cast Zone of Truth earlier.
I'll grab him by the scruff of the collar and tell him not to resist.
Anna will walk over. There's a body off map, right, Michael?
Yeah, I pulled him in. He's ready.
Oh.
These two.
Oh, I can't see it.
Oh, really?
Oh, they're there. Oh, I just hadn't scrolled. Okay.
There they are.
Yep, cool. Steven is walking over to the one that he killed with the magic missile while they're doing that.
Okay. The one that's like further away.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Beautiful.
They can do their thing there.
Yeah, Zone of Truth is absolutely still open in that area, and I think I looked at the tape, and it was like I think he would have been really close to being barely in it right now. So
Right, I knew it was pretty close.
And Isabel would know where it is. So like,
Yeah.
she can feel it.
Anna will walk up and sort of. Can we see this person? Is like the helm up? Can we see their face?
Yeah, his helm's
their eyes?
currently down. Everything is, all his stuff is together. He's
Strip
in
his armor off.
the full plate.
Can we take his helm off?
Yeah, easily enough. And as you do, you see the face. He's got a little bit of blood coming out. He is a bald human, pale skin. He has no eyebrows, and carved into his forehead is a symbol that you are familiar with. A symbol that looks like, where did I put it? Something that looks like this.
What is this? Or does it just pop into Isabel?
Did it show?
It's not
No, I don't see anything.
Oh my god, I hit show to players.
How about now?
Oh, that one.
Looks like that.
cool. That's good.
And it's just like scarred. Like it's like healed, but it's scarred in there pretty dang good. And it looks pretty.
It looked like it was like branded or maybe cut with a knife.
It looks like cut, more cut than branded.
Okay. Do you want to live and make it out of this alive?
It's not up to me, is it?
Yeah, it's true. No, it's not. Can you tell me what is that symbol on your head?
Oh, this symbol of chaos, isn't it? The symbol of the demons.
And you carved it into your head. Why?
Oh, I didn't carve it into my own head. Why would I do something like that?
There is more of you. Do you know how far away they are?
There are many more of us. An unending wave of us.
All right, I should have been more specific. There were more specifically on our trail that you were asked to wait for. Is that true? And how far away are they?
See, he starts to say something, and he can't. It's he opens his mouth like he's trying to say something, and he just bites his clenches his jaw afterwards.
You best answer us.
How did you know we were here?
They told me you'd be here. I'm just following orders.
Who gave you
Is there
the
more
orders?
to it than that?
Sorry, what? Didn't hear what you said.
Go first, Connor.
Who gave you the orders?
Lord Volmer. Do you know him?
Haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, but he seems interested in us. Do you know why?
Are you the ones that felled his tower, weren't you?
Is that how you knew where to find us?
Oh. They have many ways of finding you.
Be more specific, please.
I don't know all their ways.
Let's start with the ones you do know.
They can see from very far away.
Anything else? As far as they just see anyone, any place.
Kind of stares at you.
They can see all.
How are you going to contact the other people? Let them know that you had captured us, that you had found us? Or are you just going to wait?
We don't need all of you. We only needed to bring back a few.
And why did you need to bring them back?
You see him glance past the shadow towards the downed guy over here.
Two of you are wanted. You know that.
And he kind of looks up towards Isabel.
And where's the other one?
And he's looking around and he doesn't.
You don't need to know.
Oh, is he invisible? I know you're out there.
He's just kind of yelling, raising his voice and kind of looking around.
Clavius, help me strip him of his armor.
Gladly.
I didn't like this armor much anyway. And you'll note he's wearing the Briarwood plate. Sons of Briarwood.
How did you get the plate and flag from Briarwood?
He glances off in this direction again. He brought those.
Who was he?
I don't recall his name. He came from south. He's with a group they call themselves the Unseen. Just kind of laughs to himself.
Do you often work with the Unseen?
This is my first time.
Are you located out of a cave?
Yes, we stay in a cave.
Why are you in that cave?
There's many things to be done. Many things. They're going to be quite mad when we don't bring you back, but it's no matter. More of us will find you.
Clavius is going to grab him by the neck and push him right into Isabel's face and say, "My friend, do you know what this one can do? I've seen with my own eyes. I've seen her place her hand upon a dead body, and that body tells her all she needs to know. So I will give you one more chance to tell her all she needs to know, or your dead body will tell her all she needs to know. So think very carefully before you answer these next questions."
What? You'll send me to him?
Send you to who?
To the master.
Who is
the
this
mas-
master? Who's this master?
He kind of like looks at you like sideways for a minute. The patron. Pestilence. The fetid prince.
Anna will glance at Clavius to see if he has any reaction to that saying. And I can do a perception.
Is that?
While
Well, that sucked.
So, which prince was that associated with?
That would align with Dewey Blux.
Okay.
You'd see a smirk from Clavius.
Sorry, Marshall, do you want to interrupt? Or not interrupt?
I was just gonna say, I'm assuming at this point I've reached my dead body,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I am going to shoot a crossbow bolt into his chest.
Roll to hit. No, that's fine. You can hit him.
You can take 20 and shoot a dead body on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
No, there's a reason to mark.
unless you're doing a trick shot.
No, there. And then Steven is going to see if he can like corral the horses and start leading them back.
And you are visible at this point.
Yeah, I had to be visible to kill
Awesome.
the guy. So
I just want to make sure.
mhm.
Perfect. Yeah. The horses don't seem, they may be a little bit like skittish as you approach, but if you approach slowly and stuff, you're able to. They're trained.
Yeah.
The horses. They're used to being around people. So.
Okay. Then I'm going to start leading them back towards everybody, and I'm
Awesome.
assuming I will run into Arthur and Saru, who may or may not help as well.
Yeah, if Arthur and Saru were out watching, or if Arthur and Saru you were back with the group, it really doesn't matter. You just tell me where you wanted to be. That's up to you, boys. Interrogation or
Haru, what are you up to?
with Steven?
I'm talking to Minicat, commenting on his vicious bite and all
True.
that.
Didn't he roll a natty twin zoning?
He critted. I know that.
Pretty sure.
That's all we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a good last session, man.
It was a good session.
Yeah, you
Good,
did. You
good.
crushed.
Confirmed with the confirmed.
Anna will turn to Isabel and say, "You have any other questions? Clavius Xerxes."
Stephen might.
This Lord
Steven's
Walmer.
got to get back in time.
Oh no, it's a 10-minute spell. Gonna off the prisoner right now?
What else do you know about this Lord Walmer?
What else do I know? He's in charge. It was his tower that you took down. You made him very angry.
So I haven't answered the question. Who is he?
Who is he? He is the Lord of what was it? Bray, the Lord of Bray.
He was the Lord of Bray before the Primordials?
You would know there wasn't a Lord of Bray
Yeah.
before then. It seems like he's talking in the present, that he is the Lord of Bray.
We know who the Lord of Briarwood is?
Right.
Oh, no, yeah, Bray. Oh,
Yeah, there wasn't really. There was like a group in charge of Bray that is unfleshed out. So yes, you would know who they are, generally speaking. But yeah, he's more just saying like he owns Bray now. He's in charge of Bray now.
That was Michael's way of saying if any of us want to write a vanity project
Yeah.
to build the Brace backstory, that is open for business for Bottle Caps.
I'm assuming Arthur is going to send me books on Bray at one point.
Bray is more considered an autonomous collective.
There it is. Canon.
We receive our mandate from strange women lying in ponds distributing scimitars.
I've got emails on emails about Bray from Nick, so it's
Have you been to Mountain Heart before?
Mountain Heart. That's where I was born.
Have you been there recently?
Defined recently. I was only born 2 years ago.
You were. Did you?
This guy's like 47.
Yeah.
Is he? Can I insight check? Just like obviously it seems like sanity
Are you-
is maybe
He's
something
telling,
at this point.
he's telling the
He's
truth.
telling the truth.
Right, he's
you-
telling the truth. Yeah.
Are
you-
Yeah, you can roll an insight check as far as how many screws are loose.
Yeah, that's.
It seems like a good bit, I hope. I drank a whole beer before this to prepare. So.
I would have loved to have been a
Always
fly on
good
the
prep.
wall between Michael and Andrew as he
Oh, man.
tested out this.
I'm surprised she still lives with me after some of the things that I...
Mm-hmm.
Car rides, man. Memos app? Oof. You don't want to see my memos out. I talk to myself in the car. It gets weird.
It's the best stuff.
Were you? You say you were born 2 years ago. Does that mean you joined this group? This Lord Wolvalmer's? This group of chaos 2 years ago?
It means what it means. I was born 2 years ago, and found my way here, as I was instructed.
Did you ever meet Lord Valmer?
Oh yes,
What does he look like?
large and imposing.
Gonna need more details than that.
I can tell you where to go, and you can see him yourself.
Where's that?
The cave. The cave.
South of here.
You mentioned the cave, yes.
What kind of monsters are in that cave?
Oh, such a cruel word, monsters. There are all sorts of things. Surprises.
Quick point of clarification. Michael, did you say the yes to Isabel's question of the one south of here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, just sorry.
Yeah, that's
Considering
the one.
that
That's the
and
one.
that and Mountain Heart were on the table, I just wanted to.
Fair. Yeah, south.
Okay.
He seems to be strangely open about things, even because this spell does not compel him.
No.
He could sit here with his mouth closed if he so chose.
So seeing more of the runaround, Clavius is going to forcibly turn his head from Isabel to look at Clavius right in the face. And he's going to say, my new friend, you were right about one thing and wrong about one thing. The patron of pestilence, he is your master. And he'll take his thumb and put it up to the lips of that guy and wipe the blood from it and put his thumbprint right on his forehead and say, but only for now. And then hit him with his own gauntlet for non-lethal damage.
Beautiful. Knocks him unconscious.
Arthur would have stopped Stephen and the horses long before they ever got to the group.
Why?
We've got to talk, boy.
Don't call me boy. And he will keep on walking.
He would grab him if that were the case then.
Okay.
If you're going to continue acting like a boy, then I'll call you as such and treat you as such. If you continue to run from every example of every encounter that we come across and leave your companions behind to save your own hide, then I'll continue to call you and treat you as such.
First off, can we do like an athletics or acrobatics? Because I'm not going to let him just grab me.
Little PvP action.
Apparently.
If you wish. He's able to kind of duck around you as you like snatch at him. But you can still talk to him as he's walking away.
Yeah. That's pretty big talk coming from you, Arthur, who was terrified of going into the city earlier. Pretty, seems to be singing a different tune today. I don't understand why.
Except I didn't run screaming from my nan to the north with my tail between my legs like you did, abandoning my friends. You need to put that kind of behavior away if you're going to continue to travel with us. We cannot rely on you if you continue to act like a spoiled brat.
Once again, you're the one who has a lot to talk about being spoiled, Arthur, if you'd seen what I'd seen.
I don't care what you've seen. You're with us now and you've sworn an oath. I talked to you on that log many, many days ago, and I thought you'd turn a corner. You've got to stick with us, and you can't just flee at the sign of first trouble.
Once again, I haven't, Arthur. I was here all throughout the entire time, and I did more than my fair share in the city, which is not what we can say of you. So
I'm not talking about city, and I don't know what you mean by that, but at this encounter you ran away screaming. And we cannot have that.
1, did not scream. 2, you're the one who keeps accusing me of not pulling my fair share, and it happened yesterday, so I don't know if you've completely forgotten or just too scared to think about anything going on in the city, but...
As an aside, is Steven just out of his mind? Like, does Steven not recall the not again when he ran to the north? Is he just...
I didn't say that at all, Nick. I said, I can't go back. And I whispered, like, basically past Xerxes, and that's what happened.
Okay, because that's what I'm recalling is watching him flee.
You saw him run, for sure.
Right.
Like, I'm not arguing that, but, like, I don't know where the screaming thing is coming from.
Gotcha. Okay.
You're the one who started down this road, so...
Yeah, so Steven definitely did disappear, vanished from combat, ran to the north.
Well, he doesn't even know where he went. He popped up down all the way south and killed the guy who was running away.
And killed the guy. Oh, yeah, that happened. He did end the dude that was getting away. Did not seem to participate in the middle part of the combat, though, the thick of things. But as far as you know, but yeah, was invisible.
Okay.
Kind of vanished from sight most of that time. For sure.
I could still be your perception of what he did, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how to retcon that, because I mean, if there would have been any instance where he saw him do what he did before, which is to flee.
Then
he would have done what he's doing, which is to call him out and to say, you can't be part of this group if that's going to continue to be your actions whenever we come across something.
Are you saying something to him still, or what do you want here, Nick?
No, I'm trying to figure out entirely what he saw. I mean, if he had any inkling of that having been the action, then he would have stood by that.
Steven disappeared. He threw a fireball, took first blood on the both guys in front, and then he disappeared. He turned invisible, and then he reappeared down in the south at the end. So...
However you want to retcon that, if that were the case, then he would have... Why do you scoff?
I'm just like, are you talking about retconning this conversation we just had? I'm sorry. I kept hearing you say retcon as in retcon Steven's actions, and I was like, there's a whole YouTube video dedicated to it. So that's why I was laughing. I'm sorry. No, I'm more trying to figure out how to have the conversation.
Yeah, you guys tell me. This is the conversation between you guys. Doesn't matter how you want to play it out. That's up to you guys. Like, if that is Arthur's perception of it, then I think that's fine. Like, that makes sense. Like, but Steven also has his points. Like, and I mean, the tension between Arthur and Steven has been notable. They've been like, they're at odds. Arthur is this grown ass man who has seen some shit, and then I just got the email from Nate.
Nice.
And then
I did call it for the record.
And then Steven is, I got the forwarded message from Nate, I think.
Oh, wow.
And then Steven is this, young and right now, like, coming into his own, feeling like a bit untouchable and like young guy who's got like a lot of like, don't don't call me boy, old man, kind of shit, like a little bit of an attitude. So it's like, the tension is good. Just, keep it between your characters.
Considering that, I mean, that wouldn't have been how we would have gone about that. It would have been more like, where did you go? How are you just now this far to the south? Why did you disappear?
Are you actually asking, or are you
Yes.
just thinking out loud? Okay, sorry. Just didn't know if you were.
And so this is going on as that conversation is happening still. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're, missing out on the end of, Clavius is,
Right.
you're probably gonna get there by the time
Walk up
Clavius
as he knocks him
gauntlets
unconscious. Yeah, for
hits
sure.
him with the fucking gauntlet. Very cool, by the way.
Where did I go? What did I do? Well, they said they were looking for me. So after I threw the fireball, I turned invisible and started making my way south towards the horsemen, so that none of them would get away.
Just gonna insight that. Is there any sort of
You can always do a whispered deception and or persuasion if you want, and just kind of give him an answer based on how you think Steven's exterior, what Steven would be thinking or saying.
I mean, there's honestly not much deception going on. That's, I can do that if you want.
is that how he remembers it?
Sure. So, there. I mean, that's his version of what happened that he's sharing. From a meta perspective, there's a sin of omission there, sure, but like he's not.
Right, and I think that's why
I'm not leaving out a massive chunk of like, oh, Steven went and helped fend fish or something for like 7 rounds and then showed up. Like,
No, that's what Arthur's trying to insight is the omission.
I've answered. So I don't know what.
Yeah, there might be something there, as far as there might be something that he's, he maybe like paused for a moment longer than you would expect someone to answer, but it's hard to parse that just in the conversation. If you want a ruling on that.
Okay. Then he'll drop it.
For the record, Steven or Marshall did roll a whispered check, so I do have the dice roll. All right, so then Steven kind of turns around, still dragging the horses, and just about in time to see Clavius knock him out, unconscious.
And it was totally a backhand like that. Like, you have sullied my good name and besmirched my honor. I challenge you, pow.
And that is where we are currently. Creepy music's still going because I feel like it feels right. What would you like to do with this unconscious body?
Stephen will ask Isabel, is he one of his?
Close enough. Not specifically, though.
What does that mean?
He said
Fresher
he said-
recruit.
But he's
he
from
said
Briar.
he's. No, he is not. He is from. Well, he said he was from Mountain Heart originally, but he's been living in that cave with Lord Valmer. That man, and he'll point at the guy who's dead. He is with who's hunting you. He's from Briarwood. He brought stuff from Briarwood, and he was the one that wanted you guys. Everyone else was just fodder, from what we can tell.
Hey, Michael.
Yo.
Bring Anna, bringing attention to the dead guy to the north. What is Borseal doing next?
Borseal has just walked back and is walking up with Fent from the north.
Doesn't look like he was interacted with the body at all.
No, Borseal is not I mean, he's looking at the bodies on the ground, but he is not interacted with any. He's not like doing anything with them. I just walked him back up.
Arthur, would you mind searching that man? See if there's anything valuable.
Searching. Who are we searching? The guy in the black armor. Okay. Yes. There is. First off, 250 gold pieces in a little satchel. He has a very nice looking glaive. Very nice. He is wearing this dark black plate armor. And that is it actually on his person. That's all on his person.
Got quite a bit of cash on him for being one of these types. You would think the religious zealots might have less on them.
No documentation, though. No orders.
Doesn't seem to have papers, no.
Can I do a perception check on that guy to see if I recognize him?
Absolutely. Does not look that familiar. So it doesn't look familiar to you. He could be any human. Got a scarred face. You'd think you'd remember it if you had seen him before. Notably, he does not have a carved symbol in his forehead.
Yeah.
Do we have like a group bursar that handles our financials?
Mm-hmm. You should.
Borseal.
Fed.
Yeah, forget. I don't trust Borseal.
Yeah, I don't.
Give that guy a dime.
I have very deep pockets. You can put as much in as you want. Please. Where am I going to spend it out here? Where?
That's why I haven't cared about the money, because it's like, where's it? You know, what are we gonna do with it?
Don't tell them my secrets yet, Marshall. Let them enjoy getting money.
Divvy it up accordingly. So 250 divided.
Might want to just wait to divvy it up.
Yeah.
Just.
I mean, at this point, Arthur has like the vast majority of all the platinums and the.
You don't know that.
Gold.
Yeah, might want to wait to divvy it up because I'm assuming you're going to search the others.
Yeah.
Or not.
Arthur's starting his Renovate Bray Fund. Rejuvenate Bray Fund.
Rejuvenate. Rebuild.
Go fun, Bray.
We're just asking for 5 gold pieces. Can you find it in your heart?
Yeah,
Ringing a bell outside of Costco.
Costco magic emporium. All right. So after kind of going over some of the other bodies in the area, there's random shit like longbow, short sword, leather armor. 14 gold pieces on the 2 scouts who do not have symbols in their forehead.
A piece or total?
Total. And
Were they the ones shooting Eldritch blasts?
no, they were the ones shooting arrows.
Okay.
The ones shooting Eldritch blasts had 19 gold pieces between them. And they do have demonic symbols carved in their forehead. They each have there are 2 short swords, 2 daggers, hide armor. Let me know if you want any of this armor or anything of that nature to keep. It's all mundane.
How many arrows?
Roll a D80. Can you roll a random thing like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
All right, roll a D80 for the
Michael, did
59 arrows total.
Did the other guy that Arthur just searched? Does he have a symbol on his forehead?
He does not. No, the blackguard. He does not. He does not have a symbol on his forehead. The horses all have briding and like storage on them. There are 4 adventurer packs. So basic equipment that's in an adventurer pack. I think that's what, or explorer's pack. I think that's what it is, not adventurer pack. I think it's explorer. Yeah, explorer's pack. So there are 4 explorer's packs. Another 200 gold pieces.
I think we're up to 483 at this point. Anna, how do you want to split those arrows?
Can I have 25?
Yep.
Thanks.
Michael, do they have any bullets on them?
Roll a D0.
Sorry, they're 38 specials only.
And then of note, there is 3 vials on one of the war horses, like in one of the packs. That's on one of the war horses. 1 vial is empty and uncorked. The other 2 are corked and have weight to them. Though they don't appear to have liquid in them, but they do, like when you look at them, you don't see any liquid, but it feels like there's liquid in them.
I would either give them to Isabel. I would call Anna and Isabel over and be like, "Hey, you drink these? You study these?"
Seems fair.
Have at 'em.
Arcana check, if you will. Herbalism check, or whatever is the check that Isabel has, I would allow as well.
Garbage.
Ooh, that'll do it. So they are, the one is uncorked and empty, but the other 2, when you like look at them a little closer, you can see that suspended in this invisible liquid, or seemingly invisible liquid, are these little like silvery metal flakes that just kind of catch the light when you look at them. And you're able to be like, oh shit, I've seen this before. It's a 2 potions of sea invisibility. And this was one of the war horses. This was where all the 200 gold pieces were, as well as these 3 vials.
Isabel will explain this to Rue, and
that's where the banner of Briarwood was placed as well. Was placed in one of those packs, and it would have been that pack that it was placed.
Is there anything off about it? About that specific horse?
The horse. I mean, the horse looks like a war horse. Nothing-
Like none of its gear is more worn than the others?
No, its gear looks nice. I mean, generally speaking, both the war horses' gear looks pretty nice.
Okay.
The two riding horses, also, all the horse gear, whatever it's riding and all that stuff, seems pretty good. Nothing of note there.
Are we done searching stuff? Okay, well, I'm gonna have a conversation here, so I didn't want to like interrupt if we were
I think
midstream.
Do you want to divvy up the gold before that, or?
Borseal, Fent, and Sarah and the cat all would like to be in on the gold.
And the shadow.
I mean, do we just want to have like a?
That's good.
That is good.
Shadows aren't,
Do we just?
Shadow is there fighting along with everyone else.
shadows aren't people.
I mean, we've got an XP log. Do we just want to do a gold log and just
Yeah, that'd be good.
divvy it
That's a
up when
good
we reach
idea.
a city?
Xerxes also has a mechanical bird back home. I'm not even lying.
That's awesome.
He would also like in on that.
I'll add a handout in the handouts.
So Xerxes, your
Call
combo.
it bag of holding there, Michael.
I'm not gonna call it that.
You sure? You don't want
I
to do
don't
that?
think you guys have one of those.
It's not that.
You have a handy
We have a
haversack.
back. We have a dimensional pocket backpack.
Yeah.
Or we did.
It's a
Right,
haversack.
Clavius's backpack of small clothes.
I'm calling it the bank. We'll change it when we need to. I think everyone should be able to edit that.
All right, so now that things seem to be calming down. I forgot what I was going to say.
Nice. Way to shut
Yeah, well,
everything down.
I had so many minutes to even think about it.
Who
And
is
now
it to?
now
You
I'm
remember?
standing in front of the class with just my underwear.
Well, Anna was
Yeah.
gonna do like a general like. Well, take the. You think we can all fit on the horses? Head north.
No.
You don't think we can?
No, there's 4 horses. There's 9 of us.
There were 7 of them, and they rode on 4 horses.
They weren't all on horses, were they?
Yeah, they were.
There was only 6 of them.
Did they double up any horses?
There
They
were
doubled up
two that were doubled up. Yeah.
We'd have to triple up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to try and hide the bodies? Or do we think it'll matter?
Matters.
Doesn't matter.
Afraid that it may take too much time. They were pretty confident that they had reinforcements that were close. We best not dawdle.
Did he
We also-
say how? Did he say how far away they were?
They were close enough he was willing to wait for them to come.
He did not answer upon questioning. He was evasive about whom else might be coming for us. So, I say we put him out of his misery and head north.
We may want to use this opportunity after we've met with Yofun to consider going to Greyforge instead of Mountain Heart. They clearly know our destination, and this could be the opportunity to throw them off our trail. If it's all the same to you all, I'll go take care of this one. And he will pick up the unconscious guard and start walking toward the brush.
Bang! Love it.
What are we going to do about the horses then?
I'll take care of those too, Xerxes. Let's go more bullets.
Do we want to try and get more out of that one later? The one Xerxes is carrying off. We could, potentially.
I don't think it's worth it.
Stephen
What we
will
got?
say to Isabel, did he say why he was after the two of us?
Not specifically, no. But I'm sure you can probably make a guess or two.
He was under the orders of that one, the dead guy to the north.
Strange alliance.
And terrifying that he can get across the wall.
Terrifying. Do we hear a gunshot?
No, not yet.
Just waiting.
You kind of see him in the brush, and he's kind of laying him down. You can see him kind of laying him down in the brush.
Isabel's gonna go
Realizes he needs to fix
over to
his gun.
Xerxes.
Because Michael misfired when I was Xerxes.
I managed to fix my gun. That did happen. You remember. You were there.
Do I get over there before Xerxes shoots him?
Yeah.
You know death is what he wanted, right? That's what he was saying.
Believe me, I plan on providing him the one-way ticket he asked for.
We could leave him here for the unseen to pick up.
Why on earth would we do that?
For failing, he would surely face a worse punishment and life. And if they already know where we are, then he's not going to give any more information.
What good could possibly come from letting a person associated with demons roam free? I can think of none. And he actually pulls out a dagger instead of his gun.
Honestly, I wish I could have gotten more out of him, but
I'm not sure we could trust the words of a rambling lunatic, but I too wish we could have more information, but I was going to say this is the way. Like I'm the Mandalorian. Anyway,
we rouse him.
Xerxes kind of like taps her leg, a sympathetic leg tap.
Yeah.
And then plunges the dagger into the throat of the cultist character.
Just a guy and a girl in a bush with a dead guy.
God,
With a
thank you
love tap.
so much.
He's waiting for it.
Sometimes you really gotta give it to me, or else I don't.
He sheaths his dagger and begins walking back to the group.
Beautiful. Just covered in blood. Now the inside of your sheath is all just covered in blood. You're gonna have to clean that for. Man.
He never uses it, so.
Yeah, the dagger is very shiny, like perfect. Still has the plastic film on it. Has not been peeled off. All right. Another dead one joins.
Xerxes alone get the XP for that, or how's that work?
Yeah, just Xerxes gets that XP.
He shares it with Clavius' shadow.
Nice.
Perfect. I think Clavius' shadow just leveled to level 2. Level 2 shadow.
2 hit points.
2 hit points. Much better than 1. All right. What do you guys want to do? I assume all of the spells and things that you guys, little dots you have on you, are gone. It has to have been past time.
The purple dot would be an hour.
Oh my god.
So just make sure the next combat takes place in an hour and 1 minute.
I don't remember what the yellow dot was for. I think maybe I don't know.
I had a Shield of Faith and Bless
That's
and
what it
Emboldening
was.
Bond. I had too much going on. You
It's
guys
all
are the best.
it's all gone. All of it's
Do we keep moving then?
You gotta go meet Yofun eventually. Do you think he'd want a horse?
If anything, he might like 4 horses.
He might be hungry.
Might as well. Certainly don't want the unseen to get them.
all aboard.
Is nobody taking the glaive that Michael specifically said is very nice?
I can't carry it.
Can't use it. I don't know.
I'll pick it up.
You've got the bag.
Roll a Constitution saving throw. Just kidding.
God.
Yeah, it's a nice glaive. Has a really nice weight to it. Looking at it, looks like it was forged extremely well. We would call this a +1 glaive, non-magical. So, if anyone's interested in a glaive, you could pawn it off on Fent if nobody wants it. I think Fent could use a glaive. I don't really know. But
We'd sell it to him at a fair market value.
you could sell it to Fent. Fent's got some cash, I think.
For 1 bottle of whiskey?
There's absolutely no way Fent would do that. That whiskey's probably already gone.
I'll take 2 mackerels and a cod.
She'll need a +5 glaive by the time she comes back and is level 2 or whatever.
Yeah. Fent could
Has Fen leveled?
use a glaive.
No.
Legit question. I don't think he has.
Level 3. Fent's close, I think. Don't know what level 4 is.
Months.
Noodling.
It won't take long. It won't take long when you guys are level whatever level you'll be when Fent comes back. One combat either kills Fent or gets Fent like 4 levels.
Fen, go hide with Borseal, please. Thanks.
So we head north with the horses and walk.
Alright. Anybody riding?
I mean, yeah. Borseal could ride the horse or something.
Oh,
Or Sarah?
I'll need a boost. Yeah. Porcia will ride a horse.
Xerxes would also like to ride a horse.
Hell yeah.
I just don't. Yeah.
There is zero surprise in the party when that happens.
Fent.
I expect Xerxes to be taking a nap on the horse.
I don't think Fent likes horses, right? Was that canon?
He did not.
Yes,
That was
it's the
no. That was a
opposite.
thing. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Fent
so
and Porcia.
his other character.
Sarah doesn't feel that confident on a horse with one arm, so she's not gonna ride a horse. I'm gonna bunch you all together, and we're gonna take that 8-11, the classic 8-11 break. So to the north, you have about half a day until nightfall. And then basically would only need like 4 hours about in the morning until you reach your destination. So what's tonight look like?
Both meta and character-wise, Steven would ask Arthur, or mainly Arthur, but anyone, if they had any ideas or suggestions on how we could try and cover our trail, since we're clearly being followed again.
We've really got a few options. We can either make haste, or we can go at a much slower pace and try to cover our trails, or something that I've considered is send the horses along the trail and veer off the trail ourselves. We'd move at a much slower pace off the trail, but if we can cover it appropriately, they'll never know that we've ferried from the trail itself. Which, if you want to get into the mind of our pursuers, I would think that as soon as they know something's amiss, they will be hot after us. So with that in mind, we can make an informed decision.
The man we questioned, he seemed to think that they had magical means of seeing us. Said they could see us from far away. Never witnessed any such powers myself, but I know they exist.
I think we're learning more and more about powers we didn't know exist as our time goes on outside the wall.
Michael, that Arcana check, since Steven wasn't there for that, just see if he knew of any spells or had heard of such thing before.
Yeah, you've there's a plethora of like finding things, like locate object type spells, as well as like scrying, which you would know is definitely like something that takes a lot of like understanding on how to do. You know, you don't know if there's other means by which people can do those types of things, but you know they're possible. Like with enough practice, with enough learning, as far as the arcane route. But you've also seen that there are other routes to powers, and so it's totally plausible that there are other routes to that same destination. But scrying is kind of the best thought that you would have to equate this to.
Would you call one of these other powers dark powers?
Possibly.
Oh man, worlds colliding. There certainly are magical ways to do it. They are beyond my knowledge, but I know such things exist. It would certainly take incredible power to do so, though. But if it was the Lord Valmer's tower, you know, he very well could have that power if he was able to create the tower and all that we found in it.
I agree. Maybe if we want to try the idea of sending the horses one way and us going another, we do it after we meet with Yonfun. If Yonfun doesn't, eat them.
Maybe we can ask him just to make a big mess of the horses, and maybe they'll think the dragon killed all of us.
Fine by me.
What did these horses ever do to you?
Yes, they're very nice horses.
We haven't really decided anything yet. Besides, it's not like we're going to be able to stop the dragon, even if he does decide to eat them.
It's true.
Just make sure that we are off them if that takes place.
Will do, Morseal. Will do.
Insight check.
Flavius is gonna strap Borseal into the horse.
Yeah, him and Sarah both. Just like, hey, y'all are kind of complicating things. Why don't you go stand by the horses? And oh no, stop, Yonfun. Wait.
Hey, one character doesn't want Sarah to be eaten by horses. 6 others might, but at least one doesn't.
All right. So, what's the plan?
That's the best part of the movie, Nick.
I'm 37, I'm not old. Listen, strange women lying in ponds handing out swords.
I say we've got two to a watch. It's not like there aren't other things after us. Just do what we've done.
Are we still traveling, Michael?
Yeah. I was kind of seeing what you guys wanted to, if you You mentioned a few different plans with the horses, so I just wanted to know what you guys wanted to do, and then we can watch. Like, do a
So, yeah, sounds like we're waiting until we meet Yofun. So.
Okay, so tonight is a.
I would like to press onward. I would think that we'd be pursued, and setting a watch would only mean that we'd be more prepared to be taken over in the night.
I agree with that.
How long did you say it would take us? Like, what time would we arrive, theoretically? Are we talking like 4 a.m.? I'm asking ways.
Yofun, sorry it's early, but...
You'd expect it would be about 1 or 2 in the morning when you would arrive, if you were to press on.
That's not that bad.
You would also know, Yofun would be expecting you tomorrow, sometime, generally in the morning, likely anytime between 9 and like noon, 9 and 1. So there's no guarantee that, he's awaiting you. If you do show up, the dragon's going to appear when the dragon's going to appear. Depending on when that is, We
could light a horse on fire.
You could. Very large beacon. That would be.
So goes both ways.
Are we the betting types?
Not in this.
So yeah, that's up to you. What you want to do.
Before we make camp, Isabel wanted to see if she could catch both Stephen and Anna at some point.
Easily.
Privately.
Whether we're going to move on or make camp.
I think this is on the walk at least.
Yeah, we're just
you guys can still decide that after.
Okay. I'm just so you know, I'm on the vote for moving on. I think
moving on's fine as well. I
agree.
Okay, then last chance.
There's enough votes for moving on. I mean, Anna would make an argument towards staying, but it's like 4-1, 5-1 right now, so we're moving on.
Cool.
All right, so this conversation happens as the sun is beginning to set, as you guys continue your walk and ride, those of you riding.
So there could be any number of ways that they could be tracking us, finding us, whatever it may be. But you bringing up the notes last night, it's made me wary and curious of someone within our midst, possibly. How we interrogated the man earlier, like potentially help us find out if anybody in our midst is a traitor. So something like that we might want to think about doing soon.
Well, I mean, is there a reason you think the notes have anything to do with that? Like, I mean, they were just nice notes, and I mean, maybe we should just try and determine if they're like magical before.
I thought you checked them already.
I don't think, did we?
Yeah, they weren't magical.
Oh, they're not? Okay.
Cool. They weren't magical. We checked them yesterday, last night. Or there was no magic emanating from the notes.
Got it.
Right. I mean, they could find our way onto ourselves magically. That could be true.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and Steve just say like, I mean, we literally knocked the tower down yesterday. So like, based on what y'all have said, I don't think there's necessarily any reason to suspect, though. I will say, and I'll make his voice lower since I know we're all Game of Thrones walking at the moment. Just north of the wall, no big deal. Going to capture a dead thing. We'll say in the letter from Riliana, what's her name?
Rylenia Selrani.
Totally, yeah. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Rylenia, you mentioned there was part of the letter that you couldn't translate, and I'm pretty sure like the part about Sara means dark omen. I don't know, like I don't speak the language obviously, but like it's similar to Elvish, and anyway, it was just not a great vibe.
That could be referring to the thing she is carrying. Like we talked about earlier, Stephen, the unseen may be doing things to people.
Mm-hmm.
I think they tried to do it to you. And I think the dark thing may be referring to whatever they've done to Sara. But I am trying all that I can to subside it.
That could make sense. I don't know. I just don't have a great feeling about Rillinia. Yeah? Huh? Oh,
Close.
nice. Excellent. Close. Getting there.
Rillinia?
Rylinia, like the bread. Check. I just don't have a great feeling about Rylinia. I mean, for reasons that, should be obvious, I don't want to go from one group chasing us to two.
Yeah. The only thing I was thinking was just the notes are very suspicious. It doesn't matter what they. It seems like they're not hostile. I don't think we can afford to take it lightly now, given what happened today.
Do we just want to burn them?
Burning them is tantamount to ignorance.
But aren't you saying they're tracking us through the letters? Or are you just saying the fact that we have the letters?
Just the fact that we have them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And they could be trying to sow, whoever, if they is the unseen, could be trying to sow something in our ranks. Dissension.
Speaking of the unseen, how do you want to tell the others? They are, well, now everyone in this party is an accessory to a venge-filled and group that is probably going to be following you around for a long time. Everyone else deserves to know because, well, I have a feeling even if our paths diverge at some point, the unseen will not look favorably upon me for what just happened today.
Well, if that's the case, then I should diverge now, and that way I don't put any of y'all at any more risk.
I think that's a bad idea. I'm sure you could make it, but I think we already... My die was cast when I helped you escape. And I wouldn't want you to leave because none of us deserve that. And I like you, Stephen. I want you just wandering. And we need your power. We need you on this just as much as we need anybody else. But I think people deserve to know at least who's following us and why.
You're right.
I can't imagine anyone will want to be rid of you, but it at least, like you said, if it affects our decisions, how can we go back to Briarwood if they have an in with the Sons of Briarwood who knew you were on the trip? That's what I keep going back to. How did they know you were north? Did Cornelius break? Did they have some scrying? Someone in the Sons of Briarwood is a traitor and fed it to the unseen, and they waited until we got far enough.
Well, they were searching the city for me before we left, so even if Cornelius broke or not, I'm sure it wasn't hard for them to reason that we'd managed to slip out of the city.
But
Plus, I could be fine. I'll be fine on my own once I hit level 6 and get Lehman's tiny hut as a spell. Meanwhile, Steven casting as a ritual again.
It's like every cutscene is just him casting.
100%. Yep.
Nonstop.
anyways, I just think we should tell the others. Let them know.
No, you're right. We should. Sometime tonight. Maybe see if Yofun tries to make contact with us soon or not. And depending on that, we can decide to do it before or after that contact.
I think we talk to Yofun, get in whatever information that we need to know, and then figure out what to do next. There's a lot of options. All of them seem bad to me, but hopefully one is less bad.
We'll figure it out.
That sidebar conversation was brought to you by KC Beer Co. As Connor very artfully put it right in front of
Really, I looked up and I saw it right there.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who saw that.
I thought it was on purpose.
What beer is that? I couldn't quite read it. Whoa, we got that.
An India Pale
The
Lager,
IPL.
an IPL.
Oh,
Good.
it's been a while since I've had an IPL.
It's from Midwest Grain Products. Just kidding.
Would not be
Brought
surprised.
to you by Tito's.
Yeah.
Brought to you in Mexico.
Like
A little
By
bit of
Tecate.
Mexico and everybody.
Tecate.
While
you.
that conversation's going on, Arthur, I'm assuming, is probably going to be more in the front or in the back, trying to sweep up hoof prints. One of the two.
I don't know that we ever decided like the approach, but
We've got to
No,
comb
just
the...
just
got
since the
to
three
comb
of
the
them
desert.
just went on their own little aside conversation,
we can pretend that we're.
I would pop up to Arthur or back to Arthur or wherever.
In the front.
And I would basically just be like, Arthur, your little buddy packs quite a punch. He did a pretty good job out there. I don't know if you were around to see it.
I saw it.
But lucky that he's kind of following around with you or keeping track of you. Or with you, or whatever your guys' arrangement is.
I'm just as taken as you are. I do not know what drives Kat to travel with us, but I appreciate it all the same. He seems to be a good boy, and I'm grateful to continue in his path.
Well, you're definitely taking good care of him. I mean, we've seen you try to feed him a few times, so I don't think
Goes
it's
both
all.
ways. I feed him fish, and he feeds me fish too.
Interesting. I haven't seen him feed you, but anyway. So hey, so I heard your conversation with Steven, and I don't necessarily disagree with you, but at the same time, I don't know if we need to do anything to really start trying to threaten that we're going to push people away. Like, I don't think any of us are going to do good on our own out here, and I don't necessarily know, regardless of what powers we have, if
Did you hear the part before or after the retcon?
I don't know.
Those were two very different conversations.
I wasn't paying attention.
If it was before the retcon, then we can talk about pushing out members. If it was after the retcon, then it was more of a something seemed funny with what went down in the fight, and I've got my eye on you.
Yeah, but anyway, I think, I mean, the important thing is, I mean, even if he did run away for a second, he did eventually come back, and he did, end up fighting with us and on that, so... And maybe he didn't actually run away at all. Maybe he just took a side to kind of do a sneak attack or something, but... Still, we're all in this together. Even though sometimes it doesn't seem like it.
You know, Cat, if
He looks
something
at the little
doesn't,
cat.
if something doesn't seem like it once, maybe it doesn't seem like it. If it doesn't seem like it twice, you begin to question what seems like it and what seems not like it. If things seem to continue not to be like it, then you might question what the things are in the first place. And if you watch me turn tail and run from every fight we've gotten into, then you might really be on edge about where my intentions lie. That when the hammer comes to fall, can you rely on me or no? And I think that's what I'm at.
Did you just compare yourself to a duck?
No.
Because you don't quack.
No, but Kat, my point being that there is a level of forgiveness that I'm willing to forgive in the wild. And those who fall from my good graces have little chance of recovery because our lives depend on us working together. And as soon as someone shows that their lives are more important than any of ours, then the foundation of our group begins to fall apart.
Well, everybody gets scared sometimes, but keep your head up. He might surprise you. Everyone here might surprise you.
But twice is 2 times as many as any of the rest of us.
We all have bad days, though. Anyway, just food for thought.
Sure. And as soon as you have your second bad day, I'll come after you. And I would hope that as soon as I have my first and second bad day, that others might call me out as well. I'm not holding anybody to any higher standard than I would myself or anyone else. And I think Xerxes might be blunt enough to recognize that fact.
Just make sure we can all reach the same standard as you.
I'm not trying to be the beacon. I'm only trying to live. We've got a job to do, and I hope that we can see it through.
With that, I think we could all agree on. That's all I got.
All right. As the crew watches or walks on, so what's the plan tonight? Keep pushing through the night until you reach the overlook, crossroads, if you will.
Yes.
Yep.
I think so, and with that, there's not going to be a lot of opportunity to cover the tracks if we're kind of,
Which is fine. I think we all knew that it was either go super slow and cover or go quick, and hopefully we have a dragon to talk to.
Maybe.
Dragon providing Overwatch.
we have a Hulk.
Mhm.
Big old dragon.
I was beginning to wonder.
What day it was?
Mm-hmm.
Light rain
Mm.
has begun to fall. As the nearly full moon shines overhead. You think you're probably about 2 hours from your destination. At this point, while you guys are kind of talking, walking, and such, and something happens. Something fun and exciting that hasn't happened in a while. As far as this goes. Marching order, if you please.
Nice.
Saru's 30 feet ahead of Cat Mahomes and
I mean, depending on what time of night it is, I mean, I could see Anna being up near the front, and then like Arthur back with Isabel with some light.
Yeah, that's one of the main things that I wanted to talk about is
I assume torches are lit.
torches. Who's got them?
Though, why would we want to travel with torches? I mean,
Right, it is a full.
Yeah, you don't need them. I mean, you can
What's-
see in your
Yeah,
general
we're
surroundings.
we're on
Yeah,
a
you're right.
road. We're on a road, so I would think marching order would be Kat and Arthur at the front if anyone were with them, but they're not hanging out in the pack. They're the same as they always are.
Beautiful.
Are the horses in the middle?
I could do the hooded lantern, but put it down so the light is very dim until we need it.
I don't
Will,
even
are
know
you
if
wearing
I'll
the skin of a bear?
necessary.
He ought not have tested me.
It looks comfortable.
Arthur, Kat, and Anna up front, it sounds like, and then
Some blobbing.
probably the people walking right in front of the horses, I would imagine.
Hmm.
I think the horses shouldn't be in the back.
Have someone bring up the rear guard.
I don't think it would have made sense.
Okay.
Saru
I
would've
was
been in the
just
back.
making a decision. Sorry. Just
No, yeah, Saru would have been in the back if everybody was walking in front of the horses.
We can put me wherever we want. I don't know. I'm chilling on a horse. I'm not paying
You're
that
about
close
You're
of
on a
attention.
horse.
you're about to start shooting
We
on
know.
a horse.
You want to run me that down one more time, just so I have it?
Arthur, Anna, and Kat Mahomes up front.
Love it.
Then Fent, Clavius, Shadow, Sara in the middle. Xerxes, Borsil horses. And then Steven and Saru can chill in the back.
Did I miss Isabel in there?
I put
Sorry.
it in the middle somewhere.
I always have to forget one person. That's apparently my thing.
Canon.
I remembered Saru this time though, so rotates. There are a ton of us to remember too, so
True. Tell me about it.
this isn't a 4-person party and I keep at very, being passive aggressive back at Nick or something like, yeah, me, Anna, Isabel, and wait, Arthur? Oh yeah.
He's mired in the mud.
Yeah.
Well, as y'all are walking, having some low conversations, and keeping your ears open for sounds of horses, as that's how you were approached the last time. But it's been a while since you've had,
Halflings?
since you've had a couple horses with you. You got 4 of them. They're clomping around, making a little more noise than maybe what you've been used to. Which is one thing that could have made it difficult for you to notice something approaching. In the rear. The first of you to notice anything is actually Cat.
Which one?
The small one.
Which one?
Who Arthur and Anna in the front, you actually notice bristle up a little bit and then start sniffing at the air, and Cat slows down, and you both notice that. And then
Cocks an arrow instantly.
hashtag surprise round. Pre-rolled stealth checks. And then Arthur, you get the scent pretty quickly after Kat does, and it smells like it smells a bit like sulfurish at
Brimstone.
first. And yeah, you're trying to like place this scent and like, why do I smell that here? And you kind of start scanning around and trying to like catch which direction the wind is blowing, as this light rain falls. And that's when you hear over your shoulder, which you all hear, the sound that turns from a low growl to a roar as something comes barreling in your direction. You hear the impacting of feet or something heavy, claws on earth, the crunch of like gravel, and from behind there is something bounding towards you in a full sprint. And I'm going to put you all on a map so that we can roll.
We definitely spent a little bit of time for Isabel to heal us, right?
Did ya?
After the last combat, I mean, that was like, well, you were gone for like 10 minutes, Mike. We talked about it and healed accordingly.
Put that up.
You'll see it in the YouTube review.
You clear the initiative real quick because apparently it's still alive.
I would rather have the roll.
I'm gonna say we could just leave it as is.
Oh, you guys have those tokens. I didn't realize. Yeah, you can use those.
I will have to check the video, but I honestly don't think I've rolled double-digit initiative in the entire burnt. The entirety of the burnt.
No. Absolutely terrible. Where is Sarah at? There she is. Arthur, you get on there?
Sorry, I thought it did.
At least it just hasn't come through yet. Erker. Get rid of that. Start that. And get you guys onto another page.
Michael, I may have been too excited because I don't see me in there, but it was a 6.15.
You're showing on my screen. Let's see if I do have it. Let me just re-update once I get my guys in there. I've added a small light in the center. Just kind of represents the moonlight in your general surroundings, giving those of you that have zero dark vision just a little bit of light to see.
It's a pretty detailed map.
Did the rest of us lose our initiative?
I've still got it.
Not make it over to our screen.
Let's see if I refresh it. Does it show?
Yeah, just see Sarah, Xerxes, and Borcio.
That is so weird.
They got it. They're good.
All right, everybody. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here.
What's going on?
Maybe it's because it's the wrong tokens. Oh, I bet that's the thing. Are they showing up now?
Yep.
Oh, that's so annoying. Even though they're linked and just copied from the other, they have to be the ones from this screen. All right, Anna, what'd you get? 2418.
Yep.
Arthur?
You got a
16.
Links 1515.
15.
Isabel?
1814.
This is like old school sitting around the table. Sarah got what was it? 8.14. Clavius,
4.
classic. Four Seal got the 5.1.
615.
615. Steven.
19.16.
16. And Saru.
22.
22.
0.1, whatever. Yeah.
Wow. All right. They finally show up. Get him on here. Beautiful.
I don't think Snorlaxes are supposed to attack. Unless
You
want
don't?
them up.
You don't like that? All right. His surprise round is done sprinting to the position of which he achieved. And you all hear this loud, horrible growl turn to roar from the rear. This general direction, from those of you at the top. But it is dark in the standard of the D&D game, this direction.
Okay, top of the round.
Top of the round.
Anna will start to move that direction. So she has moved 30 feet and will pull out a longbow and fire a couple shots.
Love it. Just see this shape
Just a minute, buddy.
coming towards you.
Just
That will hit both of those.
And that is her turn.
Okay, work.
Man, minimum damage both times. Lame.
Beautiful. So you see in the darkness this kind of like large, bulbous shape of what appears to be kind of humanoid in nature, but also kind of not. And it appears to be running similar to that Bulgura that you guys fought, kind of on all fours, but it's bounding like apishly towards you. That's kind of what you can see in the darkness of it being barely in your vision. Sir, you have a bit clearer of a picture of it. It's greenish.
Sound the alarm.
It has these kind of boils all over it. It has this kind of wild black hair, and it is just bounding towards you.
He's gonna yell at Xerxes and Borseal to get the horses and get out. he's going to hit the 2 back horses on the butt. So hopefully they run. And then he's going to...
Make animal handling check.
Wouldn't we have like tied the horses together or something? Like
Well, that's
leading?
what I'm hoping is the 2 in the back are tied to the 2 in the front, and the process of hitting those 2 horses,
okay.
telling Xerxes and Borseal to run is that they all run away together.
Got it.
Even if they didn't, I just set 2 horses running away in the darkness. We'll still have 2. Maybe the troll will chase the horses, not us.
So what's your intent? If these 2 horses, do you want them to be tied to the ones in front of it, or not tied to the ones?
I assume we would have if we don't have everyone riding horses.
If no one's on them, yeah, they wouldn't just be following. They're not trail donkeys.
Beautiful. All right, so they are tied to the horses in front of them. We'll say they're not lashed together. So one is tied to Xerxes' horse, one is tied to Borseal's horse.
Yeah.
Bye, Borseal.
Beautiful. You smack them, and we'll see what happens on those riders' turns.
I would probably... Yeah, I would play like a warning little tune on my ocarina. Or pan flute, whichever I grab first. Which would essentially do that.
Right. You'll have to decide between interacting with the horses as your action or using the Toll the Dead. Because interacting with the horses will be beautiful. Right. Steven
is going to do this because it should also, for however brief a moment, illuminate the target. Yeah, that's good.
I haven't seen that one yet, I don't think. Dexterity?
Nope.
11. Yeah, so you all see this bolt of electricity shoot out of Steven's hands, which I don't think, Steven, you have cast this spell before?
I have.
Oh, you have. Okay, well, you see it again.
Yeah. Only once, though, so it's still probably pretty jarring.
And as this lightning kind of illuminates and this thing shakes, you all actually do get a better look at it, and it looks something like that.
Nice.
This green, pale-skinned humanoid creature.
Is that Snooki from the Jersey Shore?
Mm-hmm. It is. Its body appears strangely bulbous, bumpy. There's boils, and there's like this blackish, like blood that looks like it's kind of, or maybe like pus, kind of like oozing from like wounds on this creature. That's what you all see with that electricity, strobe light that happens. Steven, would you like to do anything else?
He'll move over there a little bit, but that's it.
Beautiful. Isabel,
move forward, and can she lift the hood of the lantern?
yeah. Torch on.
Dang, still don't see it. I will use my action to defend Anna then. That's my turn.
Beautiful. Arthur.
Arthur will move here with an arrow nocked. Anything that comes into his sight, he will fire.
All right. Linksy poo.
Like Sifu.
Grateful. It is this boy's turn. Upsetting. Upsetting, Saru. Just one
Very
5 foot,
good.
1 5 foot step away. 1 5 foot step away. But he gonna have to do it. He gets there. Cannot multi-attack. For he is just out of range. Arthur, can you see him yet? Arthur, you can.
I can't tell if that's Arthur or Cat.
Arthur can,
You must.
I think. Yeah, with the light from Isabel. Arthur can.
If you rule as such,
Yeah, you're good.
I like them apples.
Mother of pearl. Sorry, I meant to hit the critical threat button, so you're gonna have to confirm that first. but-
Don't you worry, with President-elect Biden soon to take office. My Dungeons and Dragons play has changed.
Hopefully it only lasts until the inauguration.
You guys want to watch their shit get confirmed? It's getting confirmed.
15 eats the natural armor.
I'm trying to call that Babe Ruth shit.
Piercing. If
Ha!
you will. Oh no.
Does it have lungs?
No, it does.
Oh.
Oh no. All right.
2 levels of exhaustion. Jeez.
Was that Bridgewater that had his lung punctured by the team doctor?
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Whoever's a.
Poor guy.
That was pretty awkward at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the con save? Okay, 15. Con 15. Come on. Come on. Yeah. No exhaustion. But speed halved would have been pretty nice. I would
Nice.
say, especially with it not where it wants to be at. So before it even gets to act with what it wanted to do, it is bloodied. So that's something. It's going to use an ability that it has. Sadly, Saru, you are the only one in its range. You watch as this troll takes its horrible claws, and you realize it does not have the reach to reach you as it reaches forward and then pulls the claws against its chest, where it has all these boils and just this spray of horrible black venom, if you will, erupts. And each creature in the area must make a Constitution saving throw.
No, that's the wrong one.
Con save 20. On a failed save, a creature takes blank. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and is not poisoned. So you don't get poisoned, but you do take half the damage that is about to be dueled, which is poison damage, 4d8 poison damage. So you'll take 8 points of poison damage. And I will put this little blue dot for me on there. It is Sara's turn. She can see it. She draws her sword. Will move this way. Just come over here. Because she doesn't have anything ranged. Xerxes.
Did Saru hitting the horses do anything?
So the horses do stir behind you as if readied. They will follow you without fighting it if you do wish to steer these bad boys out of here. They will follow your lead without having to make a more difficult animal handling check.
What's my movement speed situation?
So on a horse, this horse has 60 feet of movement, and it is a war horse. So the war horse is pretty attuned to combat in battle.
Even explosions?
Explosions, you're not quite sure.
It seems fair.
Not a lot of explosives in battle. I mean, like magical explosives maybe, but there hasn't been, you don't know if this horse participated in the primordial incursion or not. You could ask it if you could speak with animals.
It's just too good of an opportunity to pass up if we're all being honest with each other. So he's going to fire at the at the troll.
Lovely. Roll to hit. They're so mean to my troll. Roll an animal handling check as your horse rears back at the sound of the blast. You are able to calm the horse for the time being. See if you get used to it. If you want to shoot again, feel free. It's just going to kill the monster before it does anything fun. One more animal handling check, if you will.
Oof.
Your horse will rear. Make a dexterity save. Throw. You are able to hold on and calm the horse a bit. But you don't believe that it's going to act very kindly to one more of those from the top of it.
Which is fine. He will
Seems
move 60 feet away from the troll.
Beautiful. You'll be followed by a secondary horse. Just move all of you. Boom. Right to the edge of the map. Borseal will do the same. Moving. Spurring the horse on with no disadvantageous thing happening. Because the horses were spurred. Clavius.
Gonna come right there and will manifest echo, which makes the current echo disappear. But if you want to just let me move him.
Yeah, anywhere. Anywhere you'd like.
And we'll attack. And we'll burn and unleash incarnation and attack again. And do nothing.
Both fail to hit. On.
Anna will take a couple steps there. Bonus action. Cut herself for 1 point of damage. And lightning will start to crackle on her blade. And she will fire 2 longbow shots. Miss and a hit.
You all notice as it is impacted that second time that poisonous blood kind of sprays out and like flumps right through the shadow, but doesn't do anything to it because it's not a creature. So that happens. Just thought I'd let you know that it's a cool ability that doesn't get to get used because it's about to die. I feel like Troy LaValle.
Not gonna die until Saru's turn, at least.
It's out there. It's out there, Saru. How do you want to do this?
Oh, it is actually me.
Oak.
So mad.
You just need to give it 2 surprise rounds next time.
That's nasty.
We're pretty money from range.
Oh, stupid.
I'm sure it has really good wisdom. Yeah. Can you roll a 2, or like can you roll lower than a 2?
No. I mean,
I don't think you can.
Lower than a 2? No.
No, we can't.
But for fun. We'll just destroy it in ways.
19. And you notice the blood, the poisonous blood shoots out of its ears and slops all over the echo, and then you realize, oh no, it didn't, just fell on the ground right there, and the echo's fine. You've killed my random encounter. So upset.
Anna would like to come up and do an investigation and to see if this is an abyssal creature, and I'm just going to roll with advantage, and you can count it if it is or not.
Absolutely.
Make a check too.
My knowledge checks have been garbage, so I can hit something.
Roll a, this is not an abyssal creature after getting a better look at it.
Okay.
Looking over it, you notice a few things with that 11, not much, but a few. Again, this is what its beautiful form looked like. You notice that it's like its wrists among many other areas are really engorged, and it's like flesh in that area seems to almost have grown around what looks like some kind of metal bracelets at first, that are like rusted. These rusted metal bracelets. Then you look a little closer and realize like that it's a set of manacles that has been broken. You can see the little anchor point where chain would have been anchored onto, and like on each of those cuffs, that chain seems to have been eroded. And that's what you notice. I'm going to put this stuff a little closer. Down. Bring you guys down here. But yeah, that's what you get with 11 investigation.
Does it resemble anything? Does Isabel know what it might be?
Yeah, roll a nature check. Anybody that wants to try to ID it.
Gonna use guidance.
My wolves are crazy. Yeah. Isabel, you immediately recognize this thing as a troll. And you start to think about abilities that trolls have. One of them of which being able to rapidly regenerate.
Does it look like it's doing that?
And looking at it, you actually do start to see that its body is starting to like slowly stitch itself back together.
Do I know how to prevent such a thing?
You do with that 24. You are very aware that the only way to halt this, even beyond death, is cauterizing the wounds with fire.
Then, as Isabel is approaching it and thinking about it and recalling this information, she'll suddenly stop in her tracks and shout out to the party, "Quick, bring fire. We need to kill it off completely."
Super hot fire. I spit that. Arthur will.
The venom troll kills you. It's outright. It's done.
Arthur will.
Don't blame you.
Forward.
Stephen walks up holding a firebolt in his hand.
Black Iron Spear as a bonus action.
Nice. Yeah.
Drives it into the troll.
As you do that, you hear like this horrible like hiss of like air, and then followed by gurgling, and you notice that regenerative abilities of the troll subside. Also, just with that 24 on the nature check, the thing that you are able to piece together about this thing, you know that trolls that are like nearly obliterated, but somehow survive through their regenerative abilities, can regenerate from like small little scraps of flesh if they're not cauterized and put to fire. And a lot of times those types of trolls can kind of mutate into like more bizarre versions of themselves. This appears to be one such troll that has been ravaged by massive doses of some type of like venom or poisonous substance.
Does the pus or ooze coming out from it look familiar?
Make a medicine or herbalism check with advantage. Yeah, with a 29. Yeah, so you see this like kind of the blood and the like just ichor kind of like coming out of this thing. You realize that it has like a familiar scent to it, though extremely subtle. and it is the scent of a nightshade flower, which is actually something that you recently kind of collected on your travel. Kind of thinking all this over, to have this like creature be so, it's like, you know, blood is basically infused with this stuff.
Right.
I mean, you would think that it would either have to ingested like a massive amount of that flower, which doesn't seem all that plausible. Like it would have had to been a huge amount, because like, you know, that flower, it doesn't bloom in like massive like bunches, you know, it's like more isolated.
Right.
You've only been able to collect a small amount even on your travels, even like knowing, like looking for it around this area. Unless of course it's something that's like cultivated and grown in a field, like in a more dense area. So the only other way that you would think is if, you know, it was injected with like an act like that nightshade being turned into a poison, like a more concentrated substance, and just injected with it over a period of time.
Okay.
That is what you know from those very good checks. Freaking 24, 29.
Be good at the things that she's supposed to be good at.
But yeah, that is kind of what you guys notice about it. It has those manacles upon it, and then the things that Isabel knows. Unless anyone else is doing anything else with the corpse of the troll.
No.
No.
Not with this one, I don't think.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You continue on? Anyone want any healing?
Anyone need healing?
Isabel, if you could spare it. I forgot to patch myself up after the last fight.
Me as well.
Let's see. Okay.
My clothes.
This is for Arthur. And this is for Clavius.
And I'll second wind as well.
Arthur,
Sarah can patch one person up if anyone wants it to. But that's
Ooh, yes, please. As I wipe acidic sludge off my clothes.
Arthur will also second.
9 points of healing. That's all she's got. All right. And you're walking? Anything else anyone wants to do?
That was shit.
God damn.
Arthur's gonna Arthur's gonna try to tend to Cat Mahomes' wounds and not very successfully.
Is Cat Mahomes hurt?
Yeah, Cat Mahomes got into the thick of it.
I can fix up Cat Mahomes.
Cat Mahomes would appreciate it if you could spare a few. Oh,
There's something.
oh, Saints preserve us. Cat Mahomes is back.
Wow.
Does the cat like me better now?
Significantly.
Scratch behind its ears. If it allows.
He'll just stare at you. Stares into your soul.
It's not ominous at all.
Huge,
Big bad evil
round,
guy.
blue eyes.
Cat and Borseal.
There's a lot of big bad evils there right now, but
It's growing. All right. We walk on. Michael goes pee. Anyone else can join him. Just not here.
I'll be right there.
All right, team. That'd be weird. Anything else that needs to be done before we travel onward? Everybody get the healing they need, they desire.
speak now. Or forever hold your peace.
Could
Literally
hold it.
forever, because Michael's about to kill us.
Could hold it while you're dead.
Finally.
All right. Let me get the latest or earliest. Call it Night's End. Alrighty then. Excuse me. So it is well past midnight at this point. About 2 o'clock in the morning, nearly. When you finally reach the Overlook crossing area, let me just pop down to this one. It's about here-ish, generally speaking. Maybe a little closer to the lake. Where this trail kind of winds up. And you're kind of getting into the area. I guess I could pop it. Getting to the area that would be considered like the start of the foothills of the Shadow Sets. From this crossroads, you kind of can see the trail that leads through the like lower valleys, kind of following the Heart River towards Mountain Heart, towards the northwest. And then you can see the trail that kind of leads towards the Heart River to a small bridge, and then would eventually like go off towards Brandy, or kind of loop back down around the Lamnic woods back to the south towards the crossing. And then kind of the trail that you just kind of followed, which goes south towards Bray. It's kind of this three-way intersection, and Overlook Point, kind of built up onto like a rocky outcropping where you can kind of see for a while. So that's kind of what you're climbing up, what you're approaching. And as you get up there, you can kind of see down and towards Lake Lamnic, which is pretty nearby as far as like how far, like how close it kind of comes to this region. And as you're kind of climbing up there, everyone actually notices the embers of what looks to be just a small like cook fire down near the edge of the lake. And it is like, very dark out. So kind of looking down from this overlook point, there's like a lot of trees that you're kind of seeing over, some that you're seeing through. The leaves mostly all fallen at this point. There's still some hanging onto the trees, and the further north you get, the more evergreens kind of show up. But as far as like a lot of these trees, their leaves are down, and you're able to kind of see through towards the shoreline of the lake, where you see this like just small little fire. It's very contained. The embers are pretty low, but you can make that out from where you are. It's 1,000 feet away or something, as far as feet distances. But you have a pretty clear view for the most part from up on this kind of like overlook point. Xerxes and Vorsiel even more so because they're on horses, just looking down on all of you.
See who else is out here.
Say something, Connor.
What?
Do we see who else is out here?
We do all see the fire.
Mm-hmm. Everyone can see it very clearly in the darkness.
How far of it is it from us, relatively?
Like relatively over 1,000 feet,
Okay.
kind of downwards. But
What was it? Did you say it was towards the lake or the river?
towards the lake.
Towards the lake.
Yeah. And so this is kind of the spot that you would, like where you kind of are, this general like overlook outcropping point where you can kind of, the crossroads, if you will, this intersection. This would be the point that you would expect would be the 2 days to the north of Bray. This is the landmark that would be here. So this general area. But a campfire, maybe not. Over by the lake, maybe not what you expect.
Right. Should be cautious.
We're so close to Mountain Heart, it could just be more the Chaos Legion. It might be best just to let them be.
Yeah, we shouldn't go rushing down there. We have too many problems to think about as is.
I think it's best to bed down for the night instead of double watch.
Sounds good.
You default.
Presuming no fire tonight on your watch.
I was thinking a double fire at least.
We could do a double fire, double watch, double fire.
Kill the horses, use their fat for fuel.
Take all night to butcher them. They'll be ready in the morning by the time the sun comes up. So how do you guys want to do it tonight? So it's very late. So obviously a full rest for most of you will take you well into the morning, or do we just want to like get a long short rest, or what do you guys think?
Well, we're confident the dragon is coming here.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, both meta and in-game wise, like Steven and Anna only need the 4 hours
Sure.
So, like, they technically can take more watches after, and if the dragon shows up, the dragon shows up.
Yeah, I was thinking
Then we just end.
pretty
yeah.
much setting ourselves up to be in a defensive position and wait for the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, how do you want to do watches tonight? We'll do it a little differently, just because, there's. You guys tell me. There's someone, obviously, something close nearby, within 1,200 or so feet of you that you can see. How do you guys want to do watches? You want to split them up the way you have been, or are you doing?
And I think splitting up how it has been is fine.
Yeah.
Beautiful. 4 hours pass with nothing of note. The campfire that you had seen seems to be like really dying down. Very low embers by the end of that watch, where elves then take over.
Before that, Michael,
Yeah.
if this is blowing past second watch, I'm definitely going to look at it by myself.
Oh, okay.
On second
Beautiful.
watch. I forget who's on second watch with me.
Arthur is on second watch with you.
Oh, hell yes. Yes, please.
How would you like to go about this, Clavius?
I'm going to tell Arthur that I have to take a piss. And I will walk off.
You don't say piss, you say you've got like indigestion. And that way, like, he's uncomfortable and can't ask you about it anymore.
My gran used to have that. Go on. Tell me about it. Yeah, I'm sure Arthur wouldn't challenge that, but after the requisite time that normal people would squeeze one out, he would get a little curious.
Lovely.
He could have a bad prostate. We don't know.
He could have a bad prostate.
All right.
Can confirm, not fun.
All right, Clavius, heading off down the ridge a bit and towards the lake to get a better look. How close abouts would you like to get to this fire?
I would like to go until I see bodies.
Okay. Roll a stealth check. Are you trying to be stealthy?
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
And if it helps my stealth, instead of walking, I can do like a 5-meter swap with the shadow so I'm not making steps.
That's true.
And I don't have
And
any
you're not
armor on because I
covered in
don't
armor.
fit.
You are completely armorless, as it were. Beautiful. Just normal stealth check is good. 15. Yeah, you're able to move pretty good. Kind of figuring out a good way to move with your shadow and a good way to move through this darkness. You do find it a little hard to see without a torch or torchlight because it is dark in this region. You're able to make out, enough light with the stars and enough stars and the moon. But it's a little harder to see, kind of what may or may not be around the fire. So the light is dying out. What is this, second watch? So it's quite early in the morning. You're probably got to get within, I'd say. Let's actually find out. Do roll a perception check. At disadvantage because of the light situation. 11. So you kind of have to get within about 80 feet before you're able to make out anything of note. What you do make out is you can actually see there's something large, like some kind of like box structure that is about, I don't know, like 5 feet wide and almost 5 feet tall, it looks like. It's very dark. It's hard to make out. There actually looks to be some like metal kind of glinting off the low embers. And that's kind of like really close to the water. And then there is like a heap of something on the ground that you kind of squint at for a while, and you can kind of make out the shape of what looks to be like someone prone, someone lying on the ground, a body possibly, or someone sleeping.
How long has it been gone?
Probably about 10 minutes.
Okay. Arthur will kind of peruse about looking for him.
Roll a survival check.
Gladly.
You swear he came this way. Like, you're positive you saw him walk off that way. And you don't know where he went. And so you start kind of looping around. And you're having a hard time picking up his trail. That 15
Arthur
stealth check, solid.
will go and wake up Xerxes.
He's going to shoot you. He's going to shoot you in the face.
Of all the people to wake up.
You do so.
Xerxes.
What do you want?
I can't find Clavius. He was on watch with me and it disappeared.
Are you sure you just aren't looking at his shadow?
I'm quite sure. I need you to stand watch while I go and seek him. Don't tell the elves.
Fine.
Lovely. Clavis, what are you doing?
It's just one person I see.
Yeah. Seems like just one.
I am walking up to him.
Lovely. How are you doing this?
I am going to get as close as I can. And pull my hood down and take my goggles off. And if I can, will interpose myself between him and the fire where he might not be able to tell who I am because the light won't be shining directly on like the front of me.
That would be possible. He's about 10 feet away from the fire, it looks like. So that would be actually possible. Gonna have to make a stealth check. It's good. It's good. Right. Let me just kind of just move some things around here. Clavius. We'll find out what happens to you in a second. Arthur, what are you doing?
Gonna head off that direction looking for Clavius.
All right. So roll me a survival check. Let's see if you can
Clavius?
Trail. No, it's you, Doug.
Okay.
16. So after some looking, you finally find this weird trail of which vanishes and reappears and vanishes and reappears. But it's about the size of Clavius. It's where he went, and it's about the, it looks like it should be about right. And you've seen him switch places with the shadow before, so you're probably able to put together like, okay, that's something else.
It keeps getting bigger.
And you can see, again, like as you're kind of descending down through the trees, you can see that low burning fire off in the same direction. So you head that way. Are you trying to do it stealthily?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
Cat's,
stealth check.
Cat's with me as well.
Beautiful. Sweet. So yeah, you're able to move easily kind of through this area. But it's not quite catch up to Clavius. Clavius.
I imagine he's very far ahead of me.
Yeah, he is. Clavius, there is a snapping of a twig beneath your foot. And you hear, oh! And you see the body on the ground kind of like sit up in a rather kind of quick manner, and he kind of like scans around, and in the darkness you kind of are just standing maybe 60 feet away from the fire at this point. And you see him just kind of like looking around, and I'm going to do a checkaroonie. Who's out there? Is it somebody out there?
He's speaking common,
Yeah.
and it's a person.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I am going to do a couple of things. No, I'm not going to do that.
A couple things are going to happen.
I'm going to continue walking up to him, no longer trying to be stealthy, as if I have nothing to hide. Well met. My family once owned this land. I've been away for a while, and I'm interested in what has become of it. Are you now the owner of these parts?
Stay where you are. Your family own this land. Sorry. Who are you?
You see him kind of start shifting and like standing up. Get a kind of better look at him. He is appears to be human, male, obviously. He has dark black hair that's kind of in these kind of dreaded a little bit, unwieldy, and nearby, kind of clumped on the ground, there is some like furs and leathers. There's a small pack of some kind, satchel, and nearby that there is like a wood splitting axe, a hand axe, on the ground, and he's like kind of like standing and starting to stand and kind of moving over in that direction.
No need to be alarmed, friend. As you see, I'm completely unarmed. I see you're a trader, not unlike myself. I've recently come across a brilliant case of the old 1435 whiskey from Mountain Heart. I see you have some furs there. Are you just passing through, or who should I look for if I'm looking to peddle in some commerce here? Perhaps some of my coin could be of service to you.
Perhaps whereabouts are you coming from?
I am coming from the south by way of the north. And you?
South.
When I say that, can I do a check to see if he's a smart dude?
Yeah, you can roll an insight check.
Where's the old character sheet?
Arthur, you can start to hear these voices. Conversation. You can see that he's like still knocking the sleep out of his eyes a little bit. So he's a little bit like moving slowly. He might be taking a little longer to calculate certain things, but you can see he's really put off guard right now.
This is a dangerous place. You're here all alone. There's safety in numbers. I'm not armed, but obviously, if you're up here and we're caught off guard sleeping.
Yeah, this is not the safest. I'm sorry. You're alone as well, I see. This is a strange time to be running into strangers. Can I ask what you were doing, making your way over here while I was asleep?
I ran into a bit of trouble south of Bray, and I gathered what I could and had to evacuate my caravan as quickly as I could. You're the first person that I've come across that hasn't immediately tried to kill me.
South of Bray, you're not traveling with a small group, are you?
Not unless they're tracking me. Is there a group I should be concerned about?
No, you haven't seen anyone else on the road then?
Well, I've seen tracks. Heard some things maybe. I try to not attract attention.
Arthur, you're probably close enough, like just outside of visual range at this point. Staying pretty stealthy, as it seems. Is there anything you'd like to be doing?
Yeah, can you hear everything that's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear at this, like, where you are. You can hear Clavius having a conversation with someone. And you can barely make them both out, just in the darkness.
He will knock an arrow.
Lovely.
And are these furs, are these pelts, is whatever is in this crate for that group? Perhaps I could interpose myself, maybe earn a little money, be a go-between, a negotiator?
No, you see, there's already an arrangement made that I've got with others. I don't know what you're doing here or who you are. You say you come from the south. It's not often I run into people willing to have conversations out here. Can you take that hood down? Can you show me your forehead?
Do I notice his forehead?
Yeah. It's he's out in the open. He has some scarring on his face, but nothing of the nature of a freaky forehead tattoo thing.
Okay. Yeah, Clavius will do it.
All right, that helps a bit.
I'm only trying to survive. I'm a survivor just like you. Things are very tough up here. Perhaps I could help you out, help you with your current arrangement. Who is it with?
That business is of mine. I don't think that my current arrangement is going to take too kindly to someone outside of it being here. Seeing as it's only a few hours until dawn, I think you best be moving on.
And are they, will they be here at dawn? Perhaps I could speak to them myself. I'm getting fairly desperate, you see. I need to find a way to fill the belly, as it were.
All right. There's a small village. If you head around,
And he kind of points a little bit across the lake to the north. I think we're starting this on that map. Kind of like points this direction here. You can see that on the mappy. Kind of straight west from where the marker is. Just kind of.
Did Arthur hear that?
I would presume Arthur heard it. He might not be able to make out the direction. That he's like kind of motioning. Very difficult for Arthur to kind of make out all the subtleties of the conversation just in the darkness. But he's like kind of motioning off that way that there's
if you head that way, it's vacant now, but you can get shelter there. Once I eventually get back to my people, we'll send someone to give you all the formalities, and if you're talking true, if you are who you say you are, just a survivor out here, I assure you we'll be able to bring you in. We can get your belly full. You just have to wait. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of things.
I won't impose too much. It's been a while since I've been this far north. Is there anything I need to particularly be on guard for in these parts?
On guard? Probably nothing that you haven't already seen being out here. Because there's the zombie types. We've got them. Been around the woods, bears and such. But it should be it. Especially around the lake. Shouldn't have to worry much. There's a goblin band nearby, but they don't regularly come down to the lake.
Well, if it so happens that I outlive your other arrangement with your other party, perhaps we can do business one day. And Clavius will turn around and start to walk off, and will look over his shoulder at the woodcutter's axe very intently. Painfully so, like the guest who won't leave. And then we'll walk back.
As you start walking away, you notice that he, starts getting up and kind of fixing about his things, kind kind of putting it all together, and he seems to start kind of slowly slipping into some like boots and clothes and such, like seeming a little more on guard. And he watches as you walk off.
That crate was metal.
Yeah, there was. So yeah, when you got closer, the crate was this large, like trunk, basically. Roll a perception check for me. Yeah, so this was a very like oversized trunk that has some like metal banding on it and is kind of wrapped in this like very heavy looking chain. And you're actually able to pick up, there's like algae or like, like growing on it. And it just looks like dirty and a bit silty, like just this big trunk that looks like it'd been submerged in water for a pretty good deal of time. But it's big. It's like big, heavy trunk. Might take 3 or 4 guys to carry it.
All right, head back.
So as you head back, and you're heading back in the direction of your camp.
Yes.
He kind of hollers off after you, and he's like, friend, the village is off that way. You can just stick to the water's edge the whole way there. Can't miss it.
Well, I have a safe space that I've carved out back here. I've taken some furrows and I've pushed them together for safety, and I've done all these things to make a camp for myself. I'll go first thing in the morning. I don't see too well at night.
Roll a deception check. Yeah, all right. And he just kind of watches you walk off. And as you do, you kind of eventually see Arthur is kind of standing in the midst of the back with a bow drawn.
He's furious that I've made a beeline right back to our camp, showing him exactly where we are. But that's what he would have done. I hated to do it,
but you guys kind of start walking further back to the camp together and out of.
Is gonna watch that guy, and well, first he'll accost Clavius, but he wouldn't leave until finishing watching that guy and seeing what he does. Does he continue to get dressed and move off? What is?
No, he's hanging out where he is, it seems, but he is getting dressed. He's putting on what looks to be like a mixture of leather and hide armor, and kind of like pushes his pack like up against the chest, the big trunk, and he is definitely carrying his hand axe, and he just kind of like leans up against the chest and just kind of watching in that general direction.
I had to find the perfect tree. So Clavius notices Arthur. I mean, we're together now.
Yeah, sure.
What exactly did you hope to gain by that, Clavius?
Well, I hope to gain. I hope to get out of that situation once I was in it. It wasn't who I was looking for.
Why did you put yourself in that situation? Who are you looking for?
We've talked before. I have a history in these parts.
But at the cost of the party?
No. The cost of myself.
They're one and the same in the wilds.
Perhaps, but that's why I went alone. I wouldn't have drawn an army back to our camp's doorstep. If that was where my story ends, that's where it ends. There are some things I just have to find out, though.
Are you
Rest
comfortable?
assured that if I do, I'll never put the group in danger.
Are you comfortable that that just didn't happen? Are you comfortable knowing that that person is not going to report the way that you just walked off?
Perhaps. But I'm here, and you're here. That's 4 eyes. 2 can stay on him.
You have
I'm
your armor,
comfortable.
but you have no armor. And you left your watch. If you want to go off into the night, and it's not your turn to safeguard the group, that's your business. But you cannot do that if you're supposed to be watching out for others.
He will turn and look at Arthur, who may or may not have noticed by now his goggles are not on.
Ah!
And he will say, I can, and I did, and put his goggles back on.
Is that a lazy eye?
Arthur, I'm willing to stay here and watch him if you want to go back and relay to the next watch what we've seen. If there's any sign of another group or trouble, I'll be sure to alert you.
I hope you know what cost this did to the group. I had to wake up Xerxes and not take family to those actions.
Is Xerxes there?
He's there. And he's not happy about losing his sleep.
Clavius legitimately apologizes to Xerxes for waking up.
Wow, are you guys actually in the camp or are you still walking back?
Oh, are you in the camp?
Yeah,
I'm in the
Xerxes
camp.
in the camp.
He had to take over watch.
Yeah,
No,
he's
no.
Back, he's back in the camp.
I'm staying with my eyes on that guy unless Arthur is going to stay with his eyes on that guy. For the whole night.
I'm going back to the camp. But I implore you to never do this again. It's not worth it. Not so long as you call yourself a part of this group.
You know what they say. What does the saying? Knowledge makes a maximuggle?
It's funny, Mickle Maximuggle, and every little small thing begins to add up. And if we begin to let ourselves fall apart thread by thread, then the whole tapestry will eventually erode. But I'll see you back at camp.
Clavius will sit down with his back to a tree and watch that dude. Actually, I'll walk back a good ways, and then when I'm sure he no longer sees me, we'll walk back to keep an eye on him at the furthest possible distance.
Cool. All right. Back at camp. Meeting back up with Xerxes. Relaying information.
Xerxes has his eyes closed and his mouth slightly open, but his gun in his hand.
Seems good enough.
Arthur roughly shakes him awake.
He hears you approach and says, "Didn't see anything." And then opening his eyes and seeing that he's by himself, he kind of immediately snaps focused and says, "Did you not find him? Is anything wrong?"
I found him, but he's gone off in search of things that I do not know if he'll ever find. He's on a quest of his own outside of ours.
But he's okay. He's safe. Is he coming back?
He's completely fine.
Does that mean he's not coming back?
He's coming back. He's made contact with something or someone or something that lives in the north, and they now know that we as a party are up here, so he's keeping an eye on them down there. At any rate, he's cost us any semblance of stealth we may have had in these parts, for no reason that I can see.
Maybe he found a cat to talk to.
Well, that cat didn't follow him home.
Do you require me to stay awake, or can I go back to bed?
No. If you need your sleep, I'll wake up someone else. One of the horses will make do.
He says nothing and just returns back to his tent.
Little nameless horses. Guy's got to name those so I can kill him. Elf Watch will begin with a Arthur getting ready for bed or staying up possibly, and no Clavius.
Clavius isn't anywhere?
Not near camp.
Where? What does Arthur tell us about where Clavius is?
At the changing of the guard, Arthur would have relayed everything that he witnessed to the elves.
So yeah, you know Clavius is watching the figure at the campfire.
He went down, he interacted with the figure at the campfire. He left the figure at the campfire, and he's now watching the figure at the campfire.
Okay.
Noted.
Beautiful. So it is early morning as the sun begins to rise. Good morning. And as the light kind of starts to peek over or into the region, you kind of get a nice look at this area and the vastness of the lake. And as the light kind of comes, you guys can get a clear look at this figure who is kind of now sitting atop that large chest. His legs kind of just like swinging there. He's kind of leaning back a bit, and his hand is on the axe. And he seems to be smoking something from a pipe. And just kind of like looking around. But looks like he's been awake most of the rest of the night after his, from his point of view, very strange encounter with a wandering man in the darkness. Is there anything that you guys want to do as everyone kind of catches up on their rest. You guys generally have cover from where he is. Like, you can see him through the trees because to look for him down there. Be a lot harder for him to see you guys. Assuming Clavius drops back further as the sun comes up.
I think anything for right now, other than just wait for people.
So yeah, a few more hours will pass before everyone reaches their long rest. Clavius, you will be un level of exhaustion.
All right, that dude's get exhausted too.
Yeah, he does. That he does.
I'd like the record to show that Xerxes is sleeping in.
He's got to catch up on that sleep.
Nothing more happens at that camp throughout the night, though.
All
right.
He shifts around a few times. He actually stokes his fire as the morning light starts to come. And yeah, he looks to be like pulling things out of his bag and fiddling with the fire.
So I'll try to time it to come back when everybody's getting up and relay to them. Hey, there's a dude down there. He says he has an arrangement with somebody. He was asking if there was a group I was with. He said there is a town that will help us 10 miles to the west, a village, but wouldn't really give any more information than that. Seems not a devil, so that's good. But he also has a big ass algae covered chest that is intriguing, and I bet a dragon could open it if we told him to do so. And under his breath he'll say, and he also has an axe.
So this person is expecting a group from the south? Is that what you said?
The way he talked, he asked me, you're not with a group, are you? I don't know if the people he's doing business with were supposed to interact with that group. Maybe he's doing business with the people that attacked us. He did seem more at ease when I showed him I did not have any markings on my forehead. Would I have been able to ascertain that? That's what he was asking for when he said pull the hood back.
Yeah, seems
okay.
He was asking to see your face and your.
So I don't know that he would be working with them, but he said he had some sort of business, an arrangement. And if somebody wanted to go drink a potion and convince him to do something, he's going to have disadvantage on all of his checks against you.
Wow.
So
He also said he had a thing for female elves who have an interesting emotional relationship with themselves and their mentors, and likes to get freaky with vials. And I don't know if we have anyone who can do that.
I can. Do we think? Should we? I'm nervous about leaving somebody who has an arrangement with a group from the south. and just leaving them. That
Do we know
That's
he
it.
has an arrangement for a group from the south? Or, because, I mean, we're a group from the south. Maybe he had heard about us coming up and was asking about that.
that's what I think.
Oh,
We-
sorry.
There's just gonna be a lot of reasons why they're looking out for someone. I mean, what do you suggest, Clavius? Should a small group of us go speak with him? Should we all go?
I told him that I was alone, so I worry that he would feel deceived if I came back with a group. But if
Won't he feel deceived no matter what when the morning after, you talk to him in the middle of the night, other people talk to him again? Like, I feel like he's going to put the 2 and 2 together, won't he?
perhaps
Yeah, I mean, I will go speak to try to get more information, but I will tell him. We are a group from the south.
he didn't seem overly dangerous, at least by himself. He didn't. But
Did he have any
there's-
weapons?
He had a woodcutter's axe.
So, other than that, no?
Oh, not that I could see.
Well, that's good.
Well, I will go speak with this man. Unless anybody else has any better ideas.
Should we maybe just wait for Yofun?
I agree for that. We came here for one purpose, not for another.
He might investigate if Yovun shows up, though.
Uh,
It's not very often you see a dragon land nearby.
You may not live if Yofun shows up.
I think we should get more information, and I'm inclined to go speak while we wait for the dragon. If someone wants to watch and make sure I don't get myself into too much trouble, I would appreciate it. And assuming no one holds me or tries to physically restrain me. Anna will
Stabs
douse
you in
him.
the throat.
Anna will douse a vial.
Steven, I'll go with you.
Linger behind. Isabel would linger behind.
Still asleep.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the right one.
Nice. About to say, you're gonna go fucking attack him? Got your dexterity all up?
Yeah, I just need to be really dexterous.
Increases by 3. God, it's crazy. So cool. Yeah, so you walk down that direction. Those of you that are lingering behind, are you how far lingering behind are you? I mean,
You mean following behind?
yeah.
Sorry.
Like, is there there's woods that you can kind of stay in if you want Anna to come out looking alone, or are you going to show yourselves? Is basically what I'm asking.
Honestly, I'd ask Anna what she wants. Does she want us to? Is Connor even there anymore?
Yeah, sorry. My AirPods are gonna die, so I'm putting on another pair of headphones. But I'm here.
What a first world problem.
Yep.
You're not rotating the AirPods left, right, left, right.
I had
And
the
what
both
about
in.
when you have them both in?
Yeah.
You gotta rotate your second
you
pair of
can't do that.
AirPods. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what you're missing.
Then you need a second pair. I get it.
First
Anyway,
world
Steven would let Anna, dictate of like, do you want us to walk out there with you? Do you want us just to like chill in the woods? Whatever you want.
Oh, I would think if one person wanted to come with, I wouldn't, like you, Steven, I don't think there's any way to not acknowledge that we're part of a group. But I don't know if we all need to be out there. Billy Clavius doesn't feel comfortable. So I didn't quite get who all was thinking about coming.
I think just Isabel and I, right?
Yeah, then I think we can just roll up.
No.
All right. As Steven and Anna and Isabel kind of start heading down, Xerxes continues to get that extra rest. The rest of you kind of just watching on from your perch.
Yeah, just waiting for the dragon.
Cool. All right. So as you guys head down, the morning sun upon him, you can get a bit better of a description. Kind of shabby looking male, late 40s, jet black hair, knotted into dreads that are like kind of tied back. Pretty scarred and weathered face, wearing brown hides and some light furs, kind of covering up some leather armor. Looks a bit mismatched and worn. And laying near him is a small pack near that large chest that you can see a little bit better now in the daylight. It is just this massively oversized chest that is just covered in these big chains of dark metal. And the chest is kind of covered in this algae and sludge and siltiness. It does very obviously appear like it has been sitting at the bottom of a lake for some time. And he is currently like setting up what looks to be like a tripod cook fire, like a pot over the fire that he's got going now pretty strongly in the morning light. That's kind of what you see as you're kind of making your way down there. How are you approaching?
I don't know, just normal walking and maybe 60 to 100 feet away if the guy hasn't noticed us yet. Just a call like, hello there.
And he
like a wave.
quickly like looks up, like scans around and sees the three of you. Oi! Who about to you?
My name is Anna. Pleasure to meet you. And she'll bow. We don't see a lot of people out in these parts. Can I get your name?
Yeah, the name's Chaudhry. Whereabouts are you coming from, Anna? And is this all of you?
We're coming from the south at the moment.
Where from exactly?
Can I ask why you want to know? The road hasn't been kind. You'll have to forgive me if I'm a little twitchy.
Sure.
He like looks up again, like towards the sky a little bit, just kind of glances up.
You meeting anybody around here?
How pronounced was that like twitch towards the sky?
I mean, you noticed it.
We had arrangements for a meeting around here. Did you happen to meet someone?
Steven's heart's about to be broken, guys. Get ready.
Like a
What arrangements do you have?
We're here to meet a dragon.
You see like this, like almost like his stiff nature, he like kind of like sighs.
Oh, God. Where's the rest of your group? Ilfun told me he'd be coming. I think we have a lot to talk about.
And
You know too?
we'll fade to black right about there, I think.